Hello, I'm Dave Messersmith with Penn State Extension's Marcellus Education team, and I'm here today with Tom Murphy. Tom is an extension educator with Penn State and a leading authority on Marcellus Shale development in the Marcellus Shale industry. So, Tom, welcome and thanks for joining us today and allowing us to do a couple of clips today about Marcellus Shale.
Thanks, Dave.
Sure. So today we have the opportunity to talk with Tom about a number of topics, so we're going to do a couple of clips. The first topic I've asked Tom to talk about today is if he can explain the current state of Marcellus activity in Pennsylvania, and then also we'll end with maybe some thoughts on what we can see in the future over the next couple of years. So Tom, if we just sort of step back for a minute, the Marcellus underlies about 60% of Pennsylvania, but we're not seeing activity across that whole area. So if you can describe for us a little bit about where we're seeing activity in the Marcellus. It's commonly referred to as the Marcellus fairway. So if you maybe describe what that looks like and where we're seeing activity.
Sure, Dave. What we're seeing right now is if you look at the southwestern corner of Pennsylvania, the 4 counties, actually the 5 counties in the southwestern corner, and then if you also look at the north-central, northeastern part of Pennsylvania up into the northern tier, again, that north-central, northeastern corner, we're seeing a lot of activity in those 2 respective areas. The other thought at this point in time is that we'll likely see activity coalesce into the center part of the state. So you think about Clearfield County and all the way down into Somerset County, down through that swath of the state as well. That's where we're seeing the activity right now.
Okay. And Tom, when you say activity, are you talking about leasing, the companies leasing acreage, or test well programs, or development wells, or what exactly are you talking about?
We still are seeing some leasing occurring in those areas, more strategic leasing, not so much the wholesale leasing of just very wide areas like had been done in the past. So now we're looking at companies that are coming in and kind of filling in some of the holes that are still left out there. Activity-wise, we are seeing a lot of activity relative to drilling. Last year, in terms of permits, there were about 1,900 permits that were issued, about almost 800 wells that were drilled in the Marcellus last year. This year, we're seeing a real uptick in activity. There's almost 1,200 permits that have been issued through the end of May, and there's almost 600 wells that have been drilled in the Marcellus. So again, you can see there's a lot of activity occurring in the field right now in Pennsylvania.
And those well permit and wells drilled numbers are Pennsylvania or across the entire Marcellus play?
Those numbers would be in Pennsylvania. Okay. The other thing that we're watching very closely is the rig count as that moves and fluctuates here in Pennsylvania. There's been a pretty steady increase over the course of the last year. About this time last year, we had 30 to 35 rigs that were operating in the Marcellus in Pennsylvania. And now we're looking at a number that's just a little above 80 rigs that are drilling Marcellus right now.
And one thing to keep in mind with the rig count is that companies are becoming more efficient at drilling wells, so drilling wells in a faster period of time. So the rig count, each rig is able to drill wells a little bit quicker than it did a year ago or 2 years ago.
That's correct, Dave. Right now, people ask that question quite often. Once the rig actually comes in and starts drilling for the Marcellus gas, how long will it actually be there operating? And again, we're just talking about the rig component itself. Typically, you're looking at something that could be as short as 15 days and upwards of maybe in the upper 20-day range, depending upon what they encounter and whether it's a vertical well or a horizontal well, and again, some of the nuances of that particular site and the geology that they encounter in that location.
As we look to the Marcellus fairway, where we're seeing the activity, do you have any thoughts, or are we seeing activity in new areas at all over the past couple of months or past year? I'm thinking Lawrence County, Beaver County, areas outside of the traditional fairway of what we think of.
We have, Dave. We're seeing some activity occur in some of the areas we'll refer to as maybe the fringe of the fairway. You look at that northwestern corner, there's been some counties, and I think you just mentioned a couple of them down or up in that area. We're also looking down in the southeastern corner of the fairway as well. Look at Bedford County, a little bit in Blair and Cambria County. And as you go up to the northern reaches of the fairway, you're looking even over into the northeastern corner, Wayne County, and some of the science wells that are that are being developed over there as we speak, or the expectation that they will be over the course of some time.
Okay. And to wrap up this segment, Tom, as we look into the next year or next 2 years of the Marcellus development, kind of what do you expect, or what are you hearing about companies' intentions as far as permitting or wells drilled, rig counts? What are you hearing about that?
What we are seeing and hearing, and industry seems to be discussing as well, is that by the time we exit this year, we should have somewhere in the vicinity of 2 to possibly 3 times as many rigs and wells being drilled in Pennsylvania. Where that number will go next year is still to be seen in 2011, but there is an expectation that the trend will still be in that general direction. Obviously, economics are going to be a big part of that. How much gas is needed, how much pipeline capacity is there, what the overall general economy of the country is. So all those will be factors that will dictate where that trend will go. But right now, the numbers seem to still be a very strong upward trend due to the fact that you've got a huge resource, and we're very, very close to where the marketplace for that resource is.
Okay, Tom, thank you.
You're welcome.
If you're interested in learning more about Marcellus permitting and Marcellus wells that are drilled, you can visit the Pennsylvania Department of Environmental Protection website. They have a site devoted to Marcellus Shale, and they update it frequently with new information about wells drilled, as well as new permits and other new information.